because we grew up wearing your product.
Yeah, let's just talk about this right away.
Yeah.
What's in front of us for the viewer?
Founder of Power Balance, one of the founders.
Yes, one of the founders.
Extremely successful brand. I
see the drip.
I know a lot of you guys watching. I would say 90% of you guys watching right now have worn this. You guys know what it is.
It's extremely successful, but one of probably the craziest stories and things people forgot about. Right?
Yeah, it was a huge fad, and it happened quick, and it ended quick. I mean, it was like we had a 4-year run where I turned on television programs, and it would be on from The Bachelorette and The Bachelor to The Biggest Loser. I mean, we were on every TV show. I mean, we had a suite at Staples. It was an absolute 4-year crazy run, and then it went away just as fast as it got there. So,
and what were you doing before Power? Like, what were you doing before?
You know, I was in the medical industry. I had 3 young boys, and I was invested in a medical company, and the medical company didn't get approval by the FDA on a particular product, and my investment went away. Wow. And this happened around December, and these guys contacted me about the same time saying, hey, we've got this product, and it's a sticker. Would you be interested in marketing it and helping us?
How did you believe in that?
Well, I didn't.
Like, from the outside,
so
it's like, what?
I didn't. Yeah. So I was like, bro, come on. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So I went and looked at it, and it was literally a sticker. And he goes, well, what do it do? And we did the balance test, and it worked on me. And I go, well, this is bullshit. You know? So
kind of like what I just said.
Yeah, kind of. And I'm like, this is, and I go, the one thing he goes, it also eliminates motion sickness. And I'm like, okay, well, that's something I can truly test and see whether that's legit, because I'm super seasick guy. Yeah. Like, I couldn't watch the movie Cloverfield, where it's filmed with a handheld, because it was jiggling, and I would get sick in that, and get on a boat sick. So I tried it. Just the sticker was at this point. That's all it was. And I did it, and I didn't get seasick. So that was kind of got my attention. And then I said, okay, I'm interested in this. I go, but the sticker, you can't see it. It was being put inside wetsuits. I'm like, how are we marketing that? We need to see it. And
so it started off as like a surfing?
Yes. The guy, Troy Rodarmo, is the original founder, the one.
Because they're local, right?
They're local. They lived in Capistrano Beach. They went to Mission Viejo High School. Wow. And he was a surfer. And so he knew I grew up with Steve Kerr, who lived in my house in high school. And for you guys that don't know him, his father and my father, he was the president of the American University in Lebanon and was assassinated.
Steve Kerr's father was?
Steve Kerr's dad.
Wow.
Steve lived with me in the Palisades, Pacific Palisades. We grew up together and childhood friends. He was president of the Suns at the time.
Okay.
That's what they wanted Shaq to wear it. So we flew to Arizona, and I said, what are you guys going to do for me if I get this on Shaquille? And they go, well, we'll give you a percentage of the company.
Well, let's slow down. Like, how did you have that relationship with Shaq already? Like,
I didn't. Steve Kerr did. Steve Kerr was the president of the team.
Got it.
So I called up an old favor and said, hey, Steve, I've got this product. Yeah. It helps with balance.
And was he tripping too?
He was like, well, I got to have it looked at by the team doctors before you guys bring it in here. And I'm like, bro, no, it's just this, it's a wristband. By this time, we had turned it into a wristband. Yeah. Because the sticker thing didn't work. And I was telling you guys. Oh,
because before it's like a sticker you could just like put on your skin. It was a sticker.
But you needed to market it better and show it.
It had no adhesiveness to it. Yeah. You'd get wet and
you
come
can't
off.
sell it for $30.
It was terrible. What they were doing was they had a card that was like 5x7 and it had a sticker, and you'd peel one off and stick it on your skin, and that was the marketing.
Oh God.
It was terrible. No marketing. It was terrible. So they put it in a neoprene wetsuit band and sewed it up. And I think I've got some old pictures of that. But the neoprene stunk. If you started to sweat, it would stink. Oh. But that was the one we originally got to Shaquille. And so Steve, we went into the bowels of the Arizona stadiums, Phoenix Suns. The doctors put it on. It's not radioactive. It's not going to kill anybody, right? They were doing all these tests. Yeah. And then Steve goes, I just saw Steve Nash, Shaquille, and Grant Hill were all wearing it. So Steve told me this before. So now I'm with all the guys, and he goes, I said to my guys, hey, look, what are you guys going to give me if he's wearing this in a game? They go, we'll give you X% of the company. And I, oh, great. Yeah. And I knew they were wearing it. Yeah. Shaq comes out wearing it. and he freakishly goes 10 for 12 from the free throw line that night, which
is rare for him, right?
Which was he was like a 10%, 12% from the
Yo,
line.
you were like, let's go.
Yeah.
It's power balance.
Crazy. I mean, it's
secured up
again.
there.
It's in your head. It's in your head. You know,
Yeah.
if your mind. You talk to any doctor. You talk about the placebo effect is a real effect.
I want to talk about that.
Yeah, it's real. So Shaq wears it. They agree to give me this X amount of the company. We have no money, but they gave this to me, and I said, if I blow this up, I could be very wealthy here.
Yeah.
And Shaq cold calls me 3 days later. I'll never forget it.
Random number, just
Random number. I think it was a 702 number. I'm not positive on it, and I pick it up and he goes, Marty, Shaquille O'Neal. I could barely understand him. He was talking so low and monotone. And I stood up out of my chair and I go, Shaq, oh my God. He goes, I love your product, man. I want to get involved. And here's my agent's number, Perry Rogers. And give him a call, tell him we're in. I want to be a part of this company.
Wow.
No. I mean, I went, So I immediately called Perry Rogers. Perry Rogers is like, great. Now, Perry Rogers, and if you know who this guy is, Perry Rogers is Andre Agassi's agent. And the reason that's important is because he was the very first agent at about 23 or 24 years old who walked into Phil Knight and said, I want $1 million a year from Nike.
Wow.
Nike was a brand that no one knew.
Yeah.
Andre Agassi was,
what year was that?
this had to be early 1980s.
Oh yeah,
Before
no one
Jordan,
knows.
right?
Oh, before Jordan.
Yeah.
Before Jordan. There was a camera company called Canon, and Andre Agassi was Images Everything. That was his logo, and that was Perry Rogers.
Wow.
And Perry Rogers goes, we're walking. You give my guy $1 million to wear your shoes, or we're out of here. 23-year-old, right out of law school. Wow. And he goes, Perry told me the whole story. They're out at Pebble Beach pre-cell phones. And the guy drives out to like the 7th hole and goes, hey, Phil Knight is on the phone. You got to come in here.
Wow.
And he took Andre's deal. And the reason that's important is Perry was and still is the marketing genius of all
Legendary.
time. He's legendary. And you can Google that.
Yeah.
It's all insane. How he and Andre grew up together. So I'm Googling Perry Rogers while I'm on the phone with him. And I'm reading all this stuff.
You're like,
about
holy
him.
shit.
Pretty intimidating.
Yeah.
And he's, probably got he doesn't have a large agency. He manages about 8 guys, but they're all the best 8.
Top of the top.
Yes.
A-list.
A-list. And so Shaq, we get to do the deal together. We give Shaq a piece of the company.
That's awesome.
And then my world changed.